Let's do it.
Okay, it's that time again. When we're talking about 115-degree weather, you're going to need that surround. So surround is a Callan clay. It's a pest deterrent. It also protects. It's like putting sunshade but directly on your plants, like sunscreen. And what I basically do, I have a gallon spray can here. I'm going to put a fourth of this in here. We're actually going to do this a couple different ways. All you need to do is add water to it. I also add a couple drops of cinnamon oil and as well as lavender oil and peppermint oil to this side of the spray. This is what's going to coat the leaves. What I'm also doing is making some that will coat the branches. This actually has latex in it, so it's 1 part latex, 3 parts Callan clay. I also add the peppermint, the cinnamons, the lavenders, and what this is going to do is going to deter bugs, hopefully deter some of these birds and these other animals, as well as protect from the harsh rays of that sun. That sun is what's gonna, the rays is what's gonna kill. It's not the heat, it's the rays. And you want it to be a little bit drippy like this. Callan clay on its own will rinse off when it rains, but when you add latex to it, it'll actually bond a little bit better. So that's why I do the latex, and that's specifically for branches and trunks and whatnot. The other 2 ways are for the leaves. So let's get started. As you can see on the bottom of this tree, this trunk here, anything that's brown or green, you want to protect. Definitely when it's green, when we're talking about branches and trunks. But we're just going to get this painted here. A happy little tree. It's vital. You won't know some of this damage until after it's too late. It's essentially sunblock. Like I said, I'm doing it to all branches as well. Again, this is the bit with latex. Try to not get this on your leaves and whatnot. If you have any tropicals, this is super important. Avocados, mangoes, things like that. Like, you'll have to cut it off once it burns. You won't even know until it's too late. These things take forever to create like its own bark. So once it's brown, that's a little bit more resilient, but green, you have to. You want to get it all. I mean, once this is on there too, it pretty much stays. Sure, the branches are going to get a little bit thicker and whatnot, and you might have to reapply. But this latex, like I said, it'll bond to it. I don't have to come out here and redo this after it rains. When I do the leaves, when it rains, then I have to come back out here and do it after, like once that monsoon season hits. And we have those random rains here in Vegas. I just love how tropicals look. But this is what we're looking like. You want that branch, that whole trunk. Like you see this is all green. That's got to be protected. New growth. In the wild, upper storage protect them. We're not in the wild, so we got to do it ourselves. So what I have here is a little spray bottle. This is kind of the same that I do in the pump sprayer, but this will allow me to get direct spraying. It allows me to get in here and get directly what I want to get done. And the thing is, you can add more Callan clay, and it will make it a thicker product. As well as when you're doing overlays, like so you'll spray it, let it dry for an hour, come back and spray it again. I try to do this in the mornings before it gets too hot, but it's kind of my 3-step process. I mean, it's necessity. Sometimes people are like, isn't that a lot of work to grow and to do avocados and mangoes and things in Vegas? Yeah, it's relative though, because I'm putting my energy into this. I'm putting my money into this. I'm putting my time into this. Do it right the first time. I mean, it all depends on what type of gardener you want to be. Do you want to be? You can just simply have tomatoes and you know, really easy lemons and things like that, or you can have these higher tier plants, you know, trees and things. Avocados. I like avocados. Avocados are expensive. I love me some mangoes, so I'm gonna take the time to do it right. But that's kind of what you want it to look like. These branches, you don't want any of that green showing. So after it dries, I come back out and check everything else out. This is all white. This is how we want it to be. Inspect it all. Definitely, you see how the sun goes. So follow the sun and see how it looks. These are what the leaves are gonna look like. They literally look sunscreened. This doesn't hurt the plant at all. Just make sure you have your 2 different ones. You want your one with latex for the branching, one without latex. And you can do as many passes as you want. Just know, again, when it rains, you're going to have to come out here again. And that depends how much sun it gets, how much you want to shade it. The more you add, the more it's going to shade. And then it looks like this little milky substance. This is what it looks like when I first spray it. These are some of my avocados. Avocados look happy, right? Like, this is why. Most of my things I buy when they're young, and I acclimate them and I baby them. I mean, to a degree. I don't overdo it. I want to make sure that I'm doing as least amount of work as possible, but at the same time, I don't want everything to die. This is an absolute must in Vegas. I'm saying there's a bunch of steps. People are like, no, you can't do avocados. This is one of the reasons why, one of the ways why you are able to do avocados here. It's the soil, it's this, and the watering. Those are the three primary things that you have to get right in order to grow really good tropicals here, like avocados and mangoes. Mangoes are a little bit more resilient, but avocados are a must. And I don't just do my avocados, honestly. I do everything. This is a pineapple guava. I want that protected as well. They do better in a shaded environment versus full sun. And I let everything grow in together. I like to have a forest. You ever see those movies and things and they're just chopping through the forest? Everything needs to they protect each other. Nothing gets something 100%. And you want to do this before it gets too hot outside, like I was saying earlier. You want it to get nice and dry and thick on there before the sun's gonna make it dry up too fast. Isn't that beautiful? I love gardening. And you know what? I even do it to my dragon fruit. I'm gonna give it a little bit of spritz. All this stuff is natural. There's no reason not to. It doesn't hurt anything at all. It's clay and oils, real oils. Different dragon fruits have different tolerances to heat. Like, the heat is never really the issue with, like I'll say, with any of these tropicals. It's the sun rays. If you can get them protected from the rays, generally they'll do okay. This is one of those store-bought ones from Home Depot, I want to say. So it's an unknown variety, but I do have some other varieties as well. And this is on the western side of the yard, so this side gets more sun. So this side gets shaded this way, the other side I don't so much have to worry about it as much. So you got to make sure you have your placement right in your yard. But this looks like a forest over here. I don't know what you're thinking. This looks like a tropical forest. But that is what it looks like. And when I say everything gets sprayed. Anything that's getting a lot of sun, that's not made for it. Like, I'm not going to go and spray my cactuses and things like that, but most things tolerate this. Most things rather appreciate a little bit of shade. And when I say everything, I mean everything. These tomatoes are getting it too. And if you spray this on your fruit will look discolored because some parts are shaded, some parts are getting sun. At any rate, leave some comments on what you think and what you do. I'm always trying to learn something new. Do the liking, the sharing, subscribing, and all. I love the community. Let's grow.